How concerned are you about the Buffalo Bills? We talk so much about Josh Allen, and he was supposed to be the heir apparent to Patrick Mahomes, but we look at Josh Allen right now. You lost Gabe Davis. We know Stephon Diggs wasn't happy at the end of the season. So who knows what that
window's
situation
closed on this team.
You think the window's closed?
Window's closed on this team. It has to be a new iteration of the Buffalo Bills. Think about the team they had: Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. All of those guys were linchpins into what they were. Oftentimes we pointed to what Josh Allen could do, but we forget what Leslie Frazier was to this defense. We always go back to the 13 seconds Tyreek Hill play late in the game.
That was not his shining moment.
That was not his shining moment. But when you look at what this defense was, and you look at the totality of the year, this defense was really good. They put Josh Allen in position to make those plays, and now he's shown up in the playoffs. But I believe last year you have Kansas City at its weakest, as we've seen it with Patrick Mahomes. You have them in Buffalo at Orchard Park,
can't finish them.
And you can't finish it? When will you get that chance again? Not to mention, as you just said, the Baltimore Ravens got better. The Baltimore Ravens are a defense you didn't want to see. Now, they have a new coordinator, but you think about the Roquan Smiths and the Kyle Hamiltons and the Marlon Humphreys, those guys are still there. And so I feel like the Buffalo Bills, we were waiting to win a Super Bowl after that epic divisional game against the Kansas City Chiefs, are no longer.
So there we look at the AFC North because we got 4 teams. Russell Wilson has arrived in Pittsburgh. They got weapons.
I'm supposed to be happy?
You should be.
I'm supposed to be happy?
Anything's better than Mitchell Trubisky, Mason Rudolph. I mean, I'm happy about it. Listen.
You're the worst Pittsburgh Steelers fan in the history of Pittsburgh Steelers fans. You be ready to jump ship.
That's not true.
You be talking bad about them as soon as you're ready.
Excuse me. At least I don't go visit with Mike Tomlin, sit him down on the pivot, and then go back and say, look, they ain't getting it done.
I got to do my job.
So do I. So do I. That's my point. But when you look at Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore, along with Pittsburgh, we know what those teams bring. But who can be a threat to Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, I think it's the Baltimore Ravens, one, right? You look at what the Baltimore Ravens are. Stephen A., we talk about the way that first half went, but we don't talk about L'Jarius Sneed making back-to-back huge plays to keep him out of the end zone. One was tackling Zay Flowers in the open field, and then he punches the football out. Right? The defense getting the pick late in the game on the pass to Isaiah Likely. Like, that team is in that game. They're right there. The Baltimore Ravens are not a team that has to have a complete overhaul to win. It's Lamar Jackson. In these moments, you got to show up like a 2-time MVP supposed to. Todd Monken, you can't swallow your playbook when it's time. And so I think that's obviously a team that's in it. I don't believe the Buffalo Bills are there. But you mean to tell me you don't think the Cincinnati Bengals with a healthy Joe Burrow?
I'm not counting out Joe Burrow, but I don't like the fact that they lost T. Higgins.
You know, Joe Burrow, I saw him this weekend at the fight. And he was talking about T. Higgins, and you could see it on his face when he was talking about how much he wanted him to be there, that was important to him. He understands. Listen, he comes from LSU, Stephen A., where he had all them boys. Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall, Jamar Chase. He understands what it is to be able to distribute the ball. He obviously wants Jamar there. He knows Jamar has to be taken care of, but he made a point to me to talk about T. Higgins. He made it a point to say how important he is, how much he wanted to get that done. And I think that's huge. I think that changes that team dramatically from the sense of, I only got one of them to worry about. I can double Jamar, and now T. Higgins doesn't have an opportunity to beat man coverage. So I do believe that's huge, but you probably, just like I do, man, Joe Burrow is like that.
He's special.
Joe Burrow understands it.